Hi everyone, my name is Konstantin Koshchkin. I'm Innovation Advisor at Greenwich University and I'm working under Innovate UK Business Growth, and today I'm going to present you my findings regarding how university spin-outs are being supported in southeast region of England. I'm planning to go through background on this topic, which was mainly posted in a recent review, which was performed on a government level, and what are the recommendations in this review of spin-out, and what are the best practices and how they are stated. Then I will go to Southeast Region University's performance, how they're supporting spin-outs activity currently, and what are the major challenges in this area. And I will continue with potential options for Innovate UK business growth, how to improve these practices and make them to provide better support to these activities and to foster this innovation growth. And I will highlight how Greenwich University could be involved in these activities and what are the services from Innovate UK Business Growth which are already being provided in this area. And I will just name a few scenarios and use cases how this support could be advanced. So, as something to start with, let's try to understand what are the findings from spin-out review. This review was an independent examination of spin-outs and startup activities which were founded on university-generated intellectual property and how this support could be improved to extend this economic growth and global competitiveness for UK-based companies. And this report explores the spin-out landscape, identifies key challenges. There are some of the recommendations which I will share today, and it's combined in a quite long document which is available online. Key findings in this report are that UK already has strong academic research, but there could be several challenges when we're talking about high growth spin-outs which are being based on this scientific research. One of the problems will be related to negotiations between universities, founders, investors, and they are often complex, and this process of negotiation slow down the whole spin outing of the companies. And another key finding will be that access to investments for early stage funding could be also a challenge for companies which yet do not have something to show, so they are on early stages of development. Also, there is a lack of standardization in this area, and it could create inefficiencies as there is no templates common for all universities which could be used, for example, for agreements and funding negotiations or equity distributions. And the commercialization approach also vary widely between different universities, and some of them could be innovation friendly, more innovation friendly than the others. And spinouts should be treated as a whole ecosystem which require strong collaboration between academic, industry, investors, and entrepreneurs on their own. So, going straight to recommendation section of this review, most as the most interesting part, I need to say that first one will be to create innovation-friendly university policies. For example, it could be guide for terms for equity splits. For example, such a guide was developed for biotech spinouts, and it's shared between association of 10 universities, and it's called University Spinout Investment Terms. So it could be used as a template or as a benchmark. And also there's always requirements for additional guidance here for universities, investors, and founders, how to develop these agreements and which templates should be used, some checklists, template sheets, and universities should have clear expectations on the time needed to complete certain stages of spinouting process, and this should be approved prior the process of starting such a company. And the founders should understand clearly how this equity distribution will work, and they should have appropriate part in this equity, as they are carrying most of the risks here. Other recommendations will be related to transparency of data, how this could be shown in global registries. For example, national register of spinouts should be created to encourage universities to publish more information about their typical deals with spinout companies. Also, Higher Education Statistics Authority should improve how this data is being collected to be published and to be available for the global public. Another important recommendation is related to funding of the technology transfer offices. Currently, they are mostly relying on spinouts income, and in some cases it could be a problem for such a transfer office to support multiple spinouts at the same time, as they are not generating any income yet, and they will need to wait a certain time. So if Higher Education Innovation Funding will be able to provide additional support for technology transfer offices, they will be able to extend these practices in a bigger amount of companies. It's possible to create shared technology transfer offices for smaller universities, and it will help to scale and build critical mass in the space of spinouts if one university isn't enough to support such activities. Proof of concept fundings are also very important, and governments should increase funding for proof of concept development, and it will develop confidence before starting a spin-out company if we have this proof of concept. And in many cases, having a working proof of concept is one of the major requirements for a company to apply as a spin-out and gain support in university. Also, research excellence framework should be aligned with requirements for generating engagement and impact, which will be highly involving spin-out companies to work with these metrics. And founder support services should be in place. For example, advice, services, trainings, business activities, professional support, networking, and so on. Other recommendations will be to have in place entrepreneurship training for PhD students, university affiliated investment funds ready to support such companies, scale up, capital reform. So, for example, it will be aligned with investment in earlier stage companies, which are commonly spin-outs. Also, it's important to enable future entrepreneurs to go back to academia if it's necessary, or after the exit from the company, and academic return fellowship should be available for such individuals. I will share just a few statistics from this report. For example, how long does it take for spin-out company to sign the deal with university? In average, it's about a year, but about 25% of the cases will be completed within 4 to 6 months. And in many cases, distribution of equity starts, discussion of the distribution starts with more than 50% of equity which will belong to university, and in average it's about 40%. And in many cases, this fairness of the deals isn't feel that it's quite aligned with a level of contribution from different parties. So in some cases it's felt as unfair and should be more toward a spin-out company, and this will help to gain additional investments in future for this company. Let's explore how Southeast universities are working in this area right now. I will start with University of Greenwich, which obviously isn't in this region, and despite that, Innovate UK Business Growth is located in this university and working with the Southeast region, so it will be just a benchmark. In Greenwich University, we have enterprise support programs supporting innovation, entrepreneurship within the university community. It's focused on technology transfer and collaboration with industry. Spin-outs require to have business plans, so market analysis being done, proof of concept ready, and intellectual property protection in place. Funding options will be about up to 50,000, and there will be additional venture capital available, grants, and share in equity will be discussed case by case. Licensing options for intellectual property will be exclusive or non-exclusive licensing and revenue sharing. There are not many spin-outs which were successful in coming out from Greenwich University. They're covering mostly environmental and sustainable technologies, and also medical technologies. Another example in Southeast region will be, I guess it will be the most successful university in case of working with spin-outs for this region. It will be Oxford University. And Oxford University Innovation is a technology transfer office here, and it working very active in the space of biotechnology, and for now there are more than 200 different spinouts being supported. Investments are provided up to £200, £1,000. There is, of course, additional access to venture capital, additional grants, and some of the most renowned spinouts will be Oxford Nanopore Technologies, Vaccitech, Adapt Immune Therapeutics, and so on. Oxford Brookes University is working with a smaller amount of spinouts, and they are focusing on social enterprises, providing mentorship programs, supporting different entrepreneurial activities, and they're supporting student-led startups. University of Surrey is working in the context of Surrey Research Park. They're facilitating commercialization of university research, specializes in technology transfer and collaboration with industry. They're supporting more than 30 different spin-out companies, and focusing on aerospace, cybersecurity, fiber optics, and so on. Royal Holloway University also have their own technology transfer office working on similar terms, and for example, one of the spinouts will be working in artificial intelligence safety area. University for the Creative Arts also have programs to support commercialization and early stage companies, but they are not that vast in coverage, and more focusing on crowdfunding and have limited internal funding abilities right now. University of Reading support companies in renewable energy area, agriculture technologies, and focusing in this space, they're able to provide early stage funding up to £100,000. University of Southampton have more than 50 spin-outs supported. They're working with biotech and technologies and providing grants, venture funding, and various licensing and revenue sharing models. Solitary University is working with creative technologies, providing small grants, and have mentorship and supporting student-led initiatives. University of Portsmouth working with innovation space also, and fosters innovation and supporting student-based startups. They have funding options up to 100,000 angel investors, and supporting from the area of engineering. University of Winchester will be working with sustainable and social impact areas, providing different mentorship programs, grants, and working with their own technology office, enterprise, and innovation. University of Kent is working with a few spinouts, and they have internal grants, and the University of Christchurch University don't have extensive spin-out support programs. They have limited internal funding and working with a few spin-outs due to smaller scale. University of Chichester also have limited capacities in terms of spin-out support. University of Sussex working with more than 20 different spin-outs and providing grants, incubation programs, and working in space of sustainable materials, quantum computing, and technologies in general. University of Brighton have more than 10 different spinouts in support, so they have their own technology transfer office providing early stage funding, and they have their own policies in place to work in this area. Buckinghamshire New University have few spinouts to name and working mostly in mentorship and providing limited funding in addition. University of Buckingham also have limited amount of spinouts and working under Buckingham Enterprise and Innovation Technology Transfer Office. So we are able to name some of the major challenges in this area for spin-out activities. There will be limited early stage funding, lack of proof of concept and seed investment, risk aversion from private investors, fragmented university support, inconsistent spin-out policies across different universities, varying level of technology transfer, offices, expertise and resources, scaling and retention issues. Spinouts often locate to stronger ecosystems like London and Cambridge, and it's difficult to access growth, capital and industry partnerships in this area. Low transparency and standardization will result in no unified registry of spinouts, and deal structures are not clear for external observation, and it's unclear how these commercialization pathways are working for researchers. There could be, in some cases, problems with links between industry and academy. Not all universities have extensive corporate partnership for research and development and commercialization, and this will lead to difficulties related to securing first customers and piloting these innovation projects in spin-out companies. Also, there will be gaps in skills in entrepreneurship for students in these universities, and many researchers lack of business, legal and investment knowledge. So there is a need for stronger mentorship and acceleration programs in this area. So based on these challenges, we can highlight some of the potential options and opportunities for Innovate UK business growth. It could be in providing access for proof of concept, seed funding, connecting spin-out companies with angel investors and venture capital, standardization of spin-out support agreements is also highlighted as a great importance here. Best practices framework should be developed. Advisory on deal structuring is needed. Networking between industry, corporate investors, angel investors, and so on is needed. Partnership with NHS, pharma, and high-tech sectors could be provided. Regional spin-out registry should be developed, and it will help to track the progress of the companies, improve transparency, benchmarking, and to navigate through the whole ecosystem. Entrepreneurship and commercialization training could be also beneficial here, providing tailored mentorship and acceleration programs. It will support researchers in intellectual property, business development, and scaling. Also, we need to develop scaling and rotation strategies, helping high potential spinouts secure growth capital in staying in the region, and ensure companies will expand here. How University of Greenwich could provide this support? It's possible to develop spin-out hub covering multiple universities and providing additional support and collaboration. Early stage funding require additional facilities for innovation and investors to understand if these proof of concepts are worth to invest, and it could be done, this risk assessment could be done based on the university. Research and collaboration programs could be developed covering NHS trusts, pharma companies, and technology industry. Also, corporate engagement initiatives could be developed to provide better access for spin-out companies to corporate clients. It's possible to develop a tracker to monitor companies and spin-outs in the region and to understand how this ecosystem is working and to base this registry on the Greenwich University. Entrepreneurial training and mentorship also could be provided, like commercialization bootcamps for researchers and early-stage founders, Greenwich Acceleration Program and tailored mentorship are also sufficient as a support for these initiatives. Overall, our goal could be named as positioning University of Greenwich as a leading spin-out hub in the Southeast region. What is the current Innovate UK business growth services offering here? We're able to provide dedicated experts to collaborate with small and medium enterprises to identify growth opportunities and develop tailored strategies. And we're able to support innovation management, intellectual property advices, and access to global innovation ecosystems. Also, Innovate.uk is able to provide guidance on securing appropriate funding options, including grants, loans, and equity investment. Also, it's possible to provide assistance in preparing businesses to be investment ready, enhancing their appeal to potential investors. There are several funding options available for translational research which is being done in universities. For example, innovation to commercialization of university research program with up to £3,000 for the follow-up funding and 35,000 for all participants. Impact acceleration accounts with typical investments about 100,000. MRC Developmental Pathway Funding Scheme and IRC Proof of Concept. There is different types of market expansion support being provided. For example, facilitation of entry into new domestic and international markets through connections and guidance. Support in navigating market regulations and understanding cultural nuances to ensure successful expansion. Different events are being organized and interactions are being made to connect SME with industry partners, research institutions, and potential customers. Encouragement of collaborative projects to foster innovation and business developments are also in place. Now let's try to discuss some of the use cases, how to improve this support. One of the interesting options will be cross-institutional collaboration, forming a working group with several universities to standardize spin-out equity models, deal structures, and policies. This will lead to publishing of the best practices across multiple universes. It could be beneficial in provision documents as it was recommended in a spin-out review. It's possible to expand funding for early-stage ventures. For example, to establish a Southeast Proof of Concept Fund engaging Innovate.uk, venture capital, and local authorities in combined risk sharing in investments. It's possible to designate a hub for interdisciplinary spin-out growth programs, providing co-working, laboratories, mentoring, legal, and financial advisory. It could be done as incubator or acceleration programs. Several universities could be involved, and this hub could be developed based, for example, on Greenwich University facilities. It's possible to develop additional industry partnerships, organizing, for example, quarterly networking events for spin-outs, investors, and corporations. It could help in establishing startup industry research and development collaboration schemes, connecting spin-outs with different stakeholders like NHS, pharmaceutical companies, and so on. We can develop a public registry for Southeast spin-out companies, providing funding rounds, data, commercial progress, and investor insights for this region. Also, specific spin-out acceleration programs could be launched, and inside this accelerator, we're able to provide seed investment funding, business mentoring, networking, pitching, and so on. So there's space to develop your ideas. Thank you. It was a pleasure to deliver this information to you today.